right, people. UFC 308 is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a card that you just can't help but be excited about. I know a lot of people may have picked up on this. I don't know if you have, but I'm going to put y'all on the game. If I ever have a card coming up and I only do a YouTube Shorts version with my quick predictions and picks, and it's only the main and the co-main, that means I'm not that excited about the card. But the fact that I do a long form full breakdown with the whole card shows you this is a card right here that restores the feeling. I know it's been feeling like, UFC hit a little bit of a lull and just an awkward phase. This card right here is one that you just cannot even complain about. You can't say nothing. You can't say shit. It's money. And it seems like they're money every time they go over to Abu Dhabi. They make sure to have a good card. Sometimes on these Vegas cards or the US cards and these especially fight night cards, Apex cards, they can get lazy sometimes. They can get a little, stagnant. But when they go over to Abu Dhabi, they don't fuck around. They don't fuck around. So I'm excited that they're back. We're going to start out with the main event, man. Topuria versus Holloway. This is a fight that I've been looking forward to for a while, man. It's a tricky fight because we see the way that Topuria discarded of Volkanovski, and we saw what Volkanovski was able to do to Max in his fights. But styles makes fight, and I think stylistically, even with the circumstances in the Volk fight, which we'll discuss, I think as a matchup, Max is regardless a harder matchup for Topuria. I think Max is straight up stylistically a kind of nightmare matchup for Topuria. And the reason why is on the feet, I think that Topuria is going to have to mix in wrestling in some type of capacity. And Max has some of the best takedown defense in the game. Because on the feet, I think Max is one of the guys that he's not going to be able to steamroll with his. He has one of the greatest chins we've ever seen in MMA. And as far as a technical striker, I think he's a better technical striker than Topuria. Topuria, is heavy boxing, and Max is great at boxing as well, but I think Max is better. The boxing may be close. I'd still probably lean Max in just boxing, but in striking as a whole, it's definitely Max. When it comes to a whole striking game, kicks, elbows, movement, switching stances, I think Max is just all around more dynamic. And if Topuria wants to make this fight really competitive, I think that coming out there and really thinking you're going to outbox him and just knock him out is maybe the worst possible game plan he could have. I think that he needs to mix in wrestling to have a shot in this fight, because if I'm Max, I'm comfortable on the feet all day with Topuria. And we saw what he did to Volkanovski, but I think it's kind of been overstated, the one punch knockout power that Topuria has. When it comes to the guys that he's faced that are actually top level competition, ranked guys, he hasn't knocked anybody out except for Volkanovski. Josh Emmett, decision. Bryce Mitchell, submission. Yes, he hurt him on the feet, but submission. He slapped Ja Herbert, but that was at 155. That was very impressive. He did sleep Ja Herbert at 155. Who else did he fight on his ranked wins? Let me pull this up. Who else did he fight that were ranked wins? Of his ranked wins, yeah, it's just Bryce Mitchell, Josh Emmett, Alex Volkanovski. Submission, decision, and then he knocked out Volkanovski. Before that, knocked out Ja Herbert at 155, which was an incredible knockout. The one before that, he knocked out Ryan Hall, who's a grappler and who was literally just rolling for the leg and trying to get a leg entanglement and so scared to strike. He gets caught in a weird position and Topuria just hammers him and knocks him out. David Jackson was a knockout, body shot. Yusuf Zalal was a decision before that. So it's not like he's, just coming out here and knocking everybody out. It's a good mix. He has 5 knockouts, 8 submissions, 2 decisions. So he's actually, like, when it comes down to it, he really is a grappler who's fallen in love with striking. And I think the fact that he's a grappler that fell in love with striking, he may be smelling his own shit, if to say the saying. Is that even a saying? I don't even know. I think I just made that up. But make it thinking his shit don't stink, and thinking that he can strike with anybody. When I don't think Max is the one that you want to just sit out there and just try to out. I don't think he's going to try to outpoint him, but just try to knock him out and just, exchange with. Now, as far as Max, I wouldn't want to exchange with Topuria either, because that, like I said, he's not like Francis Ngannou or somebody that's going to knock every single person out. But he does have a real threat of power. And I do look at the weight cut as a bit of an issue. I know Max did make weight. I know Max always makes weight. I know Max is professional. I know Max always looks sucked in on the scale. But Max is in his 30s now. And I know in the past he's gone up to 155 and then come back down to 145. And he's actually at his best right now, looking his strongest, knocking people out like he used to never knock people out. He knocked out Korean Zombie, knocks out Justin Gaethje up a division. He looks stronger than ever. But moving up and then moving back down gets harder the older you get. So I just think that may be something to keep an eye on. Like I said, he did make weight, but in your 30s, it can be a little bit more depleting to continue to cut that much weight that he cuts. He might have to take off a lot of muscle mass after he went up to 155 in a smart way. Like the first time he fought Dustin Poirier, he said he didn't do it in a smart way. This time he put on more muscle. So to get that muscle back off and get back down to 145 and also be at a later stage in his career, in an older age where it's harder to cut that weight, I would say maybe take note of the weight cut. If Topuria is able to hurt him and Max's chin doesn't look as good as it always has, I would maybe look to the weight cut a little bit and maybe his age also. And also, you just got to give credit to Topuria. He does have power, and if he's able to knock out Max, that would be incredible. But for Max, I would stay on the outside. I wouldn't try to exchange. I wouldn't try to hurt him, early, or let him tee off on you, or make it a pissing contest and try to go swing for swing. I would try to let the fight go on, let the fight progress, and maybe try to wear on him and make him reach those championship rounds that Max is a little bit more familiar in than Topuria. If Topuria decides to stand on the feet, I think Max should use your defense, style on him with defense for the first, second round, and then the third, fourth, and fifth is when you really pick it up. And I actually think, this is going to be my prediction right here, I actually think Max stays on the outside, uses his footwork, switches stances, because I have seen moments, one, where Ilya is susceptible to head kicks. Two, Ilya is susceptible to getting tagged by southpaws. Go back and watch the Bryce Mitchell fight. He's not a dynamic striker by any means, but when switching to southpaw, Bryce Mitchell was able to get some shots off that I was like, that's interesting. I don't think Volk really switched southpaw. Volk can, but he doesn't do it as smoothly as Max. I don't think really anybody does it as smooth as Max. I'm going to say mix in that southpaw element. Use your defense early. Be more defensive early. And I'm going to go Max Holloway wearing on Ilya. Ilya getting frustrated on the feet. Wears him down. TKO in the 4th round. Max Holloway by TKO in the 4th round. Don't act like he doesn't have power. He's been finishing. His last couple fights have been all finishes. I'm going Max Holloway, 4th round TKO. Now moving down to the co-main event. I know I spent a lot of time on the main event. Co-main event, this is going to be another one that is kind of one guy very dangerous at the beginning, and the more the fight goes on, you would probably start to lean the other way. Of course, Khamzat Chimaev been the guy that you would lean towards early. Robert Whittaker being the one you lean towards late. This is a 5-round fight, I believe, 5-round co-main event. And I think that Khamzat is going to definitely have some trouble with Whitaker on the feet. If he decides to strike, I think that he'll find himself frustrated. I think he'll find himself getting tagged. I don't think he'll really get hurt too much, but I think he will find himself discovering that Whitaker has the speed advantage. Technically, he's getting off strikes, and he's going to resort to wrestling pretty quickly if they do stay in the stand-up early for a significant amount of time. I would say Whitaker is going to start to maybe piece him up a little bit. Khamzat gets a little frustrated, takes him down, which should be the primary game plan for him anyway. I think he will be able to take down Whitaker. Not at will, but I think he will be able to take him down. Whitaker is very good at getting back up, but Khamzat is also very good at catching submissions in the transition. And I believe the first round, Khamzat's going to come out like a bat out of hell, like he always does. People think he has a cardio issue. I don't think he has a cardio issue. The issue is not cardio. The issue is up here. The issue is up here. The issue is fight IQ. It doesn't matter. You can be the best marathon runner. You can run 26 miles all day. You could be the best marathon runner in the world. But put a marathon runner in a marathon and make them at the beginning go all out 100% sprint, you're not going to be able to last. Nobody can last. You have to, apportion your stamina correctly to fight 5 rounds. I don't think his cardio is any worse than anybody else. I just think that he doesn't portion it well enough to last for 5 rounds. He's only thinking, I'm going to finish you. He doesn't think like, okay, this guy's good. I'm good. Okay, let me try to hurt him right here. Okay, I didn't hurt him. Let me take a little minute and kind of regain my composure. No, he's all gas, no brakes at the very beginning. And I think he's going to do that in the first round. And I think Robert Whitaker will be able to show his veteran status and survive the storm. And in that first round, Whitaker will probably get taken down. Khamzat will probably be almost like the Usman fight, taking him down, landing ground and pound, smothering him, all over him in the first round. I think Whitaker survives. And I think the second round, Khamzat's going to come out. Unfortunately, that fight IQ, he's going to be tired. Whitaker's going to start landing. Khamzat's going to start looking frustrated on the feet. And it's going to look like the tide is turning. But I think there's a moment when a fighter just has to show what they really are and how their mentality really is and, what they're really made of. And I think Khamzat will answer all these questions in this fight because I think he is going to come out crazy, bat out of hell, no fight IQ, acting completely irrationally crazy, trying to steamroll Whitaker in the first round. It's not going to work. Whitaker's going to come back in the second round. Whitaker's going to start piecing him up. Whitaker's going to start hurting him. Whitaker's going to start making him look frustrated. But I think Khamzat is going to be able to calm down, weather the storm. And I've got Khamzat 3rd round submission. I think he's going to weather the storm. He's going to be getting hurt. He's going to be frustrated. He's going to come back after that second round. He's going to regather himself. He's going to take down Whitaker. Whitaker's going to scramble, and I think he's going to catch him in a submission in the transition. And I've got Khamzat by submission. And I'm also going to make another second prediction, another bold prediction that whoever wins this fight will be the next champion. I'm not really a fan of either one of these guys that much, but I'm going to say Strickland beats DDP in the rematch. I hope they don't do another, a third fight right after that. It's not needed. Maybe they can fight later, but the winner of this fight should have the next title shot. And I'm going to say whoever wins this fight is going to beat whoever wins that fight. I think Khamzat or Whitaker fight Strickland next and beat him and become the champion. That's my prediction. Whoever wins this fight will fight Strickland next because Strickland will beat DDP and Whitaker and Khamzat will both beat Strickland, in my opinion. Foreshadowing pretty far down the line, but that's just what I'm going to say. Now we're going to move down the card, and I'm going to do these pretty quick. Ankalaev versus Rakic. I'm going to go Ankalaev probably by decision. Ankalaev by decision. I don't know why it looks like that. Lerone Murphy versus Ige. I'm going to go 50K Ige, my man. I'm going 50K Ige on the underdog bets, plus 235. Give me Dan Ige right here. More tested, more high level competition, and just tough as nails. Give me Ige. Give me Shara Bullet here over Petrosian. I'm gonna go TKO. Give me Rafael. Brazil. Jeff Neal versus RDA. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think much people have been putting much attention on this, but hot take. I think with the loss, RDA retires. I don't know if anybody else has been thinking about this or anybody else has even let this run through your mind because the top of the card is so stacked. I think RDA might retire if he loses. I don't think he's washed. I don't think he can't beat people. But for some reason, I just have a feeling. I am going to pick Jeff Neal, by the way. I think Jeff Neal wins and RDA retires. That is my prediction. Oh, I love this guy. I'm going with my Neanderthal brother right here. Neanderthal wins. The GOAT Abus will win. Chris Barnett is on here. Holy shit, plus 525. Damn. That is a crazy matchup. Kennedy and damn, I can never announce it. Come on, bro. I'm Nigerian and I can't even say this. Kennedy in fuck, I can't say it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm going to him over Chris Barnett. Even though this is like the most weird matchup, if you put them side by side, they would not even look like they're the same weight class or should be fighting each other. But yeah, I'm going to go Kennedy. Sorry, Chris Barnett. Did I say Spain? That looks so funny next to him. Anyway, I'm going Basharat here. And actually, I'm going underdog here. Give me Bruno, motherfucking Silva, and then Renat. This dude's tough. It hurt my soul the way he did my boy Kevin Lee. I'm going him all day, and I think this card is going to be an absolute banger. If you want to make some money, I think the bet to make is Holloway and Topuria over 2.5 rounds. I don't know the odds on that. Over 2.5 rounds. Whitaker, Chimaev, over 1.5 rounds. Plus 200 is crazy, actually. Oof. Hey man, if you throw some money on Whitaker, I'm not gonna fault you. I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. I think bet the over on Rakic Ankalaev. Bet the under on Shara. And I'd say bet the under on RDA versus Jeff Neal. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be doing this for all the cards, UFC and boxing. Let me know your predictions in the comments. I am going Max Holloway 4th round TKO and Khamzat Chimaev 3rd round submission. Drop a comment. Let me know what your predictions are. Call me a dumbass. Agree with me. Say whatever you want. We going to see after the fights. Make sure y'all come through the stream. I'll be streaming on Saturday. If you need a way to watch the fights, come through my stream on Saturday. I'll be streaming the entire main card. Thank you. Join my Discord. Follow me on Instagram. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.